What's going on, friends? Welcome back to a very quick update video. So obviously I'm doing a property update video for you guys soon, but this dropped and I just thought it's important to get the news out to you as soon as possible, because normally when something sounds too good to be true, i.e. a new zero deposit first time buyer mortgage where you don't need any deposit, my sentiments are there's got to be a catch here, or there's got to be something that we should at least be mindful of. So guys, we're going to jump straight into this article, which goes on to explain obviously the crisis that we're going through with rents, living costs, house prices. Again, I'll keep that in my other video, but essentially what we are looking at is a neo-lender Propertunity announcing a zero deposit mortgage product, which is intended to help those who can't raise the 5% deposit on which many mortgage providers insist as a minimum. So as many of you know, the help to buy, the 5% scheme is not something that I necessarily advocate for. I've got a video here just explaining the drawbacks. I understand that for some people it potentially works, but I don't believe it works for every single person. So make sure you at least know the drawbacks. What these guys are offering is saying you don't even need that. So essentially the company offers a zero deposit scheme as part of its existing offering to help customers access the finance they need to get on the property ladder via a mortgage booster loan. Sounds great, doesn't it? I mean, I wish I could just go buy a house without a deposit. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting, because the loan is paid back on an interest-only basis, and the capital amount doesn't have to be repaid until the buyer finally sells their property, hopefully for a profit. Just a few things I want to unpack here. So obviously it's important to try and understand what the interest-only amount is. Is it exaggerated? Are they just trying to make a return on their cash and then essentially using you guys as a way of making more money? And then the second point is the capital amount doesn't have to be repaid until the buyer finally sells. So straight away, I would want to query the sales procedure. So I'm assuming this isn't probably something you can pass down. Again, I'm not entirely sure. I probably need to do a bit more research into that. But when they sell it, they're obviously going on the basis that property, generally speaking, tends to go up in value. So they're assuming that once the value goes up, they're going to benefit from that capital appreciation. So essentially they've loaned you some money, they're making a return on that money, which is great for them. You're obviously treating it like your house, and then essentially they're going to flip it. So, well, when you sell it, they're going to flip it and take that profit home. So it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you've got more money than sense and you want to loan this out, help people get on the property ladder and then make a profit in the end, why not? And what was interesting is so far, and I was completely unaware of this, by the way, they've financed more than £100 million of homes and helped over 260 people in the property market. Crazy. And Sarah Tucker, the founder of the Mortgage Mom, I'm not sure what that is, guys, says the main advantage of this scheme is helping thousands of first-time buyers get on the property ladder before they otherwise would have. Listen, I'm all for helping people, but I just don't want someone to take something that seems too good to be true and then obviously get hit with a drawback, or there's some small print that essentially ruins them or affects their life. But like anything, it sounds too good to be true. There are caveats. Okay, let's jump into this. The scheme's success relies on the property of the value increasing over time. Understandable. Long enough, if you know, 25, 30 years, house prices in most areas across the UK generally go up in value. And Propertunity has created a complex piece of technology called Propertunity Home Index, PHI, which identifies undervalued and overvalued homes so buyers can make smart decisions and accurately assess a property's potential. Okay, brilliant. So they're probably doing their due diligence and they're not going to give it to you in an area where, you know, there's going to be negative equity, or there has been signs of negative equity, or property still not recovering from 2008, because there are some out there. And there's also an issue of how the mortgage providers will react to Propertunity funded application with zero deposit. I expect lenders to be skeptical at first until they see positive results of the scheme on a mass scale, says Boone. Now, the scheme may prompt alarming flashbacks of the 100% loan to value mortgage products that were offered in the 2007 and 8 crash. And we spoke about that many times on this channel, guys, which ended in a disaster. And obviously what I just mentioned in terms of the negative equity on an enormous scale. And while it has been touted as an alternative to the Help to Buy equity loan and aims to capture the estimated 4.4 billion gap left behind when this ends in October, there are some differences to be aware of. Let's quickly dive into those. Propertunity's scheme requires no deposit. There's fewer limitations on the type of property. So a lot of the Help to Buy is you need to buy a new build, and you can buy with a maximum value of up to 1 million. So I think that's slightly more than what the Help to Buy was. I think it was around 500k, 650. Something like that. And then it just goes on to say if their innovative financing and technology proves successful, there's obviously rewards for those willing to take the risk. So guys, this is going to be interesting, and I always love innovative stuff in this space. Obviously, I'm here to try and help you guys get your first properties, your investment properties on this channel. If you have any questions, guys, or any comments about this, let me know your thoughts down below, and hopefully you appreciate this very quick video. Smash up that like button if you did. I've got a code, as you can tell. I hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for watching, guys.